Mithril here once again, getting back to the Pokemon Emerald No Evolutions run, and it's time to talk about Pokemon Contests. These are sort of a side quest thing you can do, an alternate competition you can enter your Pokemon in that relies on an entirely separate set of stats. Unlike the usual battle stats of HP, attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed, Pokemon Contests use their own 5 separate stats. You can actually get a preview of what these stats are by looking at the contest versions of your moves. There's Smart, Cool, Beauty, Tough, and Cute. DJ Miko has a nice selection of Cool-type moves, so we're going to get her ready to go through a Cool-type contest. First off, we need to get to our main destination of the Contest Hall. In Ruby and Sapphire, contest halls were a bit more spread out. However, in Emerald, it all got consolidated to Lily Cove City. Kind of an odd design choice, in my opinion. In Ruby and Sapphire, it felt more like a definitive side quest because you could do it along with the main course of the game. But in Emerald, you had to be done with most of the game before you could even do a normal rank contest. But, whatever. What we need to do now is raise DJ Miko's contest stats. And in order to do that, we have to use the Berry Blender to make Pokeblocks. You can do this by yourself, or you can use 1, 2, or 3 AI partners. Using the AI partners, it's a bit of a gamble. You cannot tell them what kind of berry to add to the mix, and they tend to be a bit iffy about timing during the minigame. We'll get to that in a moment. Now, if you have a bunch of real-life friends that also have the game and can connect with you over the Game Boy Advance cables, you can actually get better blocks that way. You can agree what kind of berries you're going to use, and you can generally get better timing that way than the AI partners will produce. But hey, you work with what you have. I usually just use one AI partner because I can at least better define what kind of berries go in. Like I said, you cannot tell them what berry type to add, but it is always constant based on what berry you add to the mix. To raise DJ Miko's coolness stat, I want to use raspberries and pineapple berries. I've got a good number of both. If you look at the tag for a berry, you can see what flavor it is, and the flavors correspond to the contest stats. Spicy is cool, dry is beauty, sweet is cute, bitter is smart, and sour is tough. So, let's put in a raspberry. Once the blender starts spinning, when it points to your corner, hit the A button. You want to get it as close to the center of your mark as you can. Successful hits will speed up the blender, and you want to get this thing going as fast as you can. The problem with the AI partners is if they start messing up, it can mess up your timing too. Because it does slow the blender down and you have to adjust for that. Which can be a bit of a pain, and he's just messing up all over the place now. So there's the end results. Purple Pokeblock was made. The level is 12 and the feel is 20. We'll get to what that means in a moment. So, let's go ahead and use that Pokeblock we just made. To use a Pokeblock, you need to go into the Pokeblock case that we got earlier and were forced to get to go into the Safari Zone, grumble grumble. So we have our purple Pokeblock. It's both spicy and dry. The level is 12. The level indicates how much it's going to boost the contest stats for that Pokemon. The feel is 20. That determines how much it's going to fill the Pokemon up. A Pokemon can only eat so much Pokeblock, and there's no getting rid of it. So, unlike effort values which do have methods of being reset, you really have to be certain about how you're filling out a Pokemon's contest stats. There's no going back, there's no redo button. Basically what you want the most is you want blocks with a high level and a low feel, so that they'll boost stats faster without filling the Pokemon up as much. But again, we're working with what we have. So, let's go ahead and feed that to DJ Miko. Delicious. And so, coolness was enhanced and so was beauty. So the reason I want to raise both of those stats is basically the form of this pentagonal chart. Obviously what we're most concerned with here is the coolness stat. We want to get that as high as we possibly can. But the two bordering stats, in this case tough and beauty, those matter as well. In preliminary contest judging, you are judged based solely on your contest stats, and it can give you an edge to start the contest proper off. Obviously, you're mostly judged on what the main criteria of the contest is, in this case, coolness, but the two bordering stats, those give you a little bit of an edge as well. Those are also judged. Not as much emphasis is put on them as the main stat, but it does help to get those boosted as well. Now, if we look over on the left, the picture of DJ Miko there, we see the Pokemon's luster, also known as fullness. The sparkling star over her right now, that means she's not terribly full. The more Pokeblocks she eats, the more stars will appear, eventually fully encircling her. Once she's fully encircled by stars, that means she is done. She cannot have any more Pokeblocks. So you want to raise the stats up as much as you can before that happens. Nature also plays into this. As we've discussed, natures raise and lower certain stats, and this also plays into contest stats. The stat that's raised by a nature, that determines which kind of Pokeblock they prefer, and if you give them a block they prefer, it raises that stat more. Neutral stats, it doesn't really matter. They still get a boost, not as much. But the stat that's lowered by a nature, they dislike that kind of Pokeblock, so that won't get as much of a level up from eating the Pokeblocks. A Pokemon with a completely neutral nature, they'll be fine with anything you feed them. They won't hate it, but they won't love it. So anyway, what I have to do now is raise her stats as much as I possibly can. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll be back once I've finished feeding DJ Miko. So, back in a moment. Okay, there we go, and that's pretty much as good as we're going to get DJ Miko's stats. Couldn't quite get cool maxed out. Nature does play a bigger role in that, it really does. And it's also why evolving Feebas in 3rd and 4th gen was kind of a pain in the tail. Not only did you have to catch such an incredibly rare Pokemon, but you also had to get just the right nature on it so that you could max out its beauty stat. Yes, in order to evolve Feebas to Milotic, you have to max out its beauty. In 5th and 6th gen, since contest stats were gotten rid of, it instead changed to where they got their own hold item, the Prism Scale, that you had to attach to a Feebas and then trade it to evolve it. A lot easier. So anyway, now it's time to actually go to the contest. So, let's do this. Alright. Since we haven't beaten any of the ranks, we can only do normal rank. A Pokemon can only take part in a higher level contest if they've beaten the lower ranks. So we're going to do a normal rank coolness contest. Go for it, DJ Miko. So here we go. We're just getting started with a normal rank Pokemon coolness contest. The participating trainers and their Pokemon are as follows. So let's see the competition. We have an Aron that apparently got a pretty good coolness ranking there. We have a Poochyena. They weren't quite as impressed with that one. We have a Makuhita. It got some mild interest. And we have DJ Miko. The crowd really likes her. Boosting the contest stats definitely helps. In preliminary judging, the better you do, the earlier you'll move in the actual contest. So now we get to the actual strategic part of this. We have to choose what kind of moves we want to use here. I have Fly, Quick Attack, Aerial Ace, and Double Team. Now, the appeal meter over there, that shows how much it'll catch the judge's attention. The higher the appeal rating, the better. But notice also secondary effects. For example, Quick Attack lets me move earlier the next turn. Aerial Ace works well if I use it the first turn. At the start of the turn. And using Double Team makes it to where I can't be distracted by opposing Pokemon. That's what the jam rating is. Unfortunately, I don't have any moves that'll jam opponents, but a successful jam will lower their appeal. Fly also has that, but it's a smart type move. This is where the applause meter comes in. If you use a move of the type that matches that contest, in this case cool, it'll raise the crowd's enthusiasm. If you use a secondary stat, in this case tough or beauty, it won't excite the crowd, but it won't disappoint them. If you use an opposing stat, in this case smart or cute, it will disappoint the crowd and the applause meter will go down. Sometimes you want to do that as a strategic move. If you cause the applause meter to max out, you get an extra appeal boost. So, let's go for it. Let's see here. I'm gonna lead with Aerial Ace since it'll get the boost for going first. Since I got the applause going a bit, I also get an extra heart for that. Our own is using Iron Defense. A guard-type move, but it wasn't a cool-type move, so it didn't get anything extra from it. Vital Throw. Makuhita is purposefully going last next turn. It counts as a cool move, though. And what's this Poochyena gonna do? Howl. Condition rose above usual. If your condition is raised, you'll get an extra point for every star you have. Okay, so I got a lot of attention there. Unfortunately, due to timing, I don't think I'm going to be the one to actually raise the applause meter. So what I may actually want to do is delay it. So I'm going to purposefully use a move outside of the contest type. It'll also have the added benefit of guarding me from being jammed. So let's use Fly. Poochyena has scrambled turn order. Interesting. Now that part of it I can't ignore. The turn order is going to be scrambled no matter what. So if this Makuhita uses a cool type move, then he's going to get all the applause. Using Reversal. It gets a bonus for going last. And he got the crowd going, so ouch, he is getting a lot of attention this turn. So, scrambled turn order, and I'm going first again anyway. Okay, what I'm going to do now is demonstrate an appeal combo. I'm going to use Double Team. This will also guard me from jams, but it will also set up a combo opportunity. The judge looked at DJ Miko expectantly. Poochyena is howling again. Condition rose above usual. 2-star Poochyena! Okay, Takedown is a high appeal move, but if Ronar gets jammed, is going to lose a lot of that. And there's the jam. I'm not paying attention. Nah. Ouch, that really hurt Ronar. Okay. Notice that Quick Attack is now highlighted. That means it's the second part of the appeal combo. If I use it now, I'm going to get extra appeal points for that. Notice also that Double Team is grayed out. I haven't covered this yet, but if you use the same move repeatedly, you'll get less attention for it. There are some moves that counteract that as a secondary feature, though, that you can use them multiple turns in a row, and the more you use it in a row, the more effective it'll be. But I don't have any of those. Quick Attack time. Makuhita is purposefully going last again. I'm not sure if there's actually a way to get rid of a Pokemon's extra stats, those stars that Poochie has there. Anyway, I'm purposefully going first next turn, and also, my combo went over well. Extra hearts for me. Unfortunately, I'm not quite gonna get that extra bonus for throwing the appeal over. And turn order has been scrambled, so everything Makuhita and I were working for means nothing. Extra hearts for Poochyena. And Metal Claw. So, let's see what happens now. Okay, I'm going last, which, depending on how this works out, could work to my benefit. If everybody uses a cool move, then I'm guaranteed to get the crowd going. Okay, there's nothing I can really benefit from move-wise going last, so let's just use Double Team. Okay, that's one cool move. Poochyena has jammed Makuhita. But that wasn't a cool move, so I do not get to get the audience going. Bugger! And neither was Ronar's. So that plan didn't quite go well. Oh well. This should be the end of it. The contest goes for 5 turns, and I think that was the last one. Yep, we're out of appeal time. So I came in 3rd in the appeal round, but I came in 1st in preliminary judging, so let's see how it all factors out. Because it all counts. Announcing the results. The preliminary results. Yeah, I came out way ahead there. And that's probably going to give me the victory. Because looking at the hearts there for the appeal round, I at least tied with the other two. And there we go! DJ Miko is the coolest bird! Roman DJ Miko, congratulations! Here you are, please accept your prize. We confer on you this ribbon as your prize. We get a lovely ribbon. We can look at ribbons by going into the Pokénav. And let's see, there we go. Cool Contest Normal Rank Winner. There are also other kinds of ribbons. We can at least see one other. The Champion Beating Hall of Fame Member Ribbon. So now that we have that ribbon, DJ Miko can actually take part in the next level of Cool Contest, but also there's something else I want to see if we can go get. Back in Slateport City. Okay, as long as we're going this way, I can go ahead and mention that contests returned in 4th Gen, and there they were a bit more involved and even more strategic. I really loved the Super Contests. Those were really fun. Sadly, they disappeared completely in 5th Gen. 5th Gen had Pokémon Musicals, which weren't nearly as involved. They were okay to watch, but just kind of felt like, oh man, I get to tap twice in this on the stylus, and eh. It wasn't particularly amazing. 6th Gen has nothing of the like, though. Okay, I think he only judges what the first slot Pokemon is, so I want to put DJ Miko up there. And he'll only do this after you've been in at least one contest. Yeah, he's not impressed. You actually do have to have a maxed contest stat to get the items he'll give you. If you max out a contest stat, he will give you a colored scarf. The scarves, they also relate to the colors of the contest stats. red for coolness, yellow for toughness, green for smart, blue for beauty, and pink for cute. These scarfs are hold items. They do nothing except for in contests, they'll give you an extra boost in that contest stat, and that's pretty much it. So with that, that's pretty much it for Pokémon Contests. They're a fun little side thing. I enjoy them, I kinda miss them. Kinda wish they'd come back, more in the form of the 4th gen ones. Those ones were really fun. But it's interesting to have a look at them. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again in the next video when we discuss the Battle Frontier. So until then, I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I shall see you next time. Fare thee well. And whoops, I kinda forgot to talk about something there. The ultimate goal of the Pokémon Contests. Once you reach the Master rank of a contest, if you win and score highly enough, which I think basically means you have to completely max out the appeal meter, there's an artist in the contest hall that will paint a portrait of your Pokémon. It will then hang in the Lily Cove Art Museum. If you get him to paint one of your Pokémon for every type of contest, you'll get an extra star on your trainer card, and you'll also get an extra decoration for your secret base. Kinda nice, that. If you meet these requirements with a Pokémon that's already been painted in the museum, he will actually instead give you an extra luxury ball. So it is possible to get extra luxury balls, it's just kind of a pain to do it, as opposed to, say, just paying $1,000 for one. So, anyway, with that, I think that covers everything. And so for real this time, fare thee well. Who's that Pokémon? It's Falser!